It is the final week of John Woo month.
And we're boiling it hard.
The Chris and Chris Show.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Chris and Chris Show. I'm Chris with a Philip Chan. See?
And I'm also Chris with a Philip.
Oh,
but a quack.
couple of Philips just over here talking about John Woo. So yeah, this week, I said it's finale of John Woo month. It's been a very fun month, and it's Hard Boiled, John Woo's last, at least for a little while, film in Chinese language film.
Last hurrah for Hong Kong cinema of that era, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. This is kind of like where everyone started buggering off, let's say, to Hollywood for the big bucks, for the money.
Yeah.
And the fame. So yeah, no really to get to beforehand, is there really?
Nah, there isn't really. I watched my random tangent of the week. I watched two Planet of the Apes movies yesterday, back to back.
What,
just thought, why
the newer ones?
Yeah.
I've never seen any of them yet. I always hear they're really good, but I just can't bother.
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and Rise of the Planet of the Apes and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. That's the right word.
I'm amazed they've got so far into the series without using resurrection or something.
Yeah, or rebirth, or all them sort of words that always come up. Yeah, they're alright. I don't. It kind of confuses me that. I mean, the film that's coming out is going to be the fourth film in the series.
Really? I thought there was already four. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. No, well, yeah, because are you counting the shitty Tim Burton?
No. Just the ones from like the past 10 years or so. It felt like for a while there was one coming out every year. So I figured there was about 5 or 6 by now.
Yeah, they're okay. They're a bit, I don't know, they're a bit basic, and you can see where they're going. It's always like humans bad, apes good. Gets a bit better in the second one. I thought they were trying something, but then reading the synopsis of the third one, it's like an evil general is coming to kill all the apes or something. It's like, it just sounds like Avatar or something. Yeah. I just know there's going to be some American who's all like, God damn, and he's got an American flag tattooed on his shoulder or something. I'm just going to be like, like, it's just too on the nose.
Literally, the guy from Avatar shows up.
Yeah, Stephen Lang's just going to turn up and be like, yeah, I'm going to use your eyes for jujubes, or whatever that dreadful line is.
I can't remember a fucking single thing about that movie. I don't know. You could be making that quote up and I wouldn't be able to tell.
I just remember Stephen Lang taking massive bites out of the set.
Oh, yeah.
Although I do like him in that film, to be fair. Yeah. Just because he is like having fun and overacting the shit.
He's a very James Cameron character, isn't he?
He is. So yeah, that's what I've been doing this week anyway. Planet Apes.
Before Hard Boiled today, I watched that like weird double bill today of Henry Potter of a serial killer, then Hard Boiled.
Nice.
So yeah, that's been my Sunday. Brutal violence, and a bit more brutal violence, but a bit more stylish. Hard Boiled was released in 1992, runs for 2 hours and 8 minutes, directed by John Woo. It stars Chow Yun-fat as Tequila, Tony Leung as Alan, Anthony Wong as Johnny Wong, Philip Chan as Superintendent Pang, Teresa Mo as Teresa, Hoi San Kwan as Uncle Hoi, who I never realised what's this. He's the fucking guy he's in Project A. He's like the general.
Oh, of course, yes, of course.
Philip Kwok as Mad Dog, who also served as the action choreographer for the movie. Well, action, what do they call it? Action director, that's what they call it. John Woo as Mr. Woo, or in my subtitles, Greg.
Nice. Love that subtitle.
I was like, Greg Woo is his name in the movie. But weirdly though, like I saw someone in the comments, I think it was on the YouTube video of like, because I watch this on YouTube, there's the nice HD version on there. We'll get into the whole 4K Blu-ray shit again later. But yeah, he's Mr. Woo. He's also Inspector Woo in A Better Tomorrow. And in this, he's a retired cop. Is he the same character?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Later in life.
Yeah, there's like, there's a little John Woo, there's a Wooniverse.
I do like that he always plays basically the same character.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it could be the same character. Who's to say? And finally, Wei Tung as Foxy, the informer. And something I forgot to mention on the Better Tomorrow show, Wei Tung was the action director on Better Tomorrow. And he's also Bruce Lee's student in that famous scene in Enter the Dragon.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. What a start, though. Start with Bruce Lee and you end up somewhere like it, with John Woo. That's pretty crazy.
Definitely.
So what is the story of Hard Boiled?
Well, a hard-edged cop will stop at nothing to bring down a gun-smuggling organisation after his partner is brutally gunned down in the line of duty. However, the lines between right and wrong become blurred when his revenge-fueled rampage threatens the life of a deep undercover police officer.
It's the greatest action movie ever made. So you do the bit.
Yeah, that's it. It's enough said.
One thing I was going to say that I think's kind of like, you know, we've said numerous times during all these reviews that like there's definitely, when you watch them all in a row, you can definitely see like an evolution in like John Woo's style and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think like obviously because you know I'd seen him talk before that like he pretty much knew he was gonna. He'd probably been getting like maybe feelers out in Hollywood since The Killer was like getting quite good press over there.
Yeah.
So like I think I've seen him say before that like he kind of knew he wanted to go at least try America once the handover like was coming in like 97.
Yeah.
So I've always thought like probably the thought process he had was this is just going to be me big fucking last hurrah and just went all out with everything.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was definitely going that way because this film like stands apart from all the other films to some degree. Like obviously you've got the John Wooisms, you've got like the natural progression of things as we've said, but I just feel like where like all the other films are kind of like on a scale, this one just jumps ahead in terms of the tone and the way it's shot and stuff.
I almost think it doesn't really feel like the other Hong Kong movies of like say 1992 for example, you know what I mean? It kind of feels a lot like weirdly slicker in a way.
Yeah, he was definitely, I think he was pitching this as like he's auditioned for Hollywood in some ways. Like,
yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Because again, it's like it feels very accessible to a Western audience as well. The way that the plot is laid out and stuff, and there's no, you know, humorous scenes where some woman gets her legs broken or something.
Although that's not necessarily exclusive to like John Woo, but it's a very Hong Kong thing to do where you just say, the fuck?
A tonally deaf violence and humour. But no, just something about it just feels very like an action movie that would speak to an American audience or a you know, Western audience. It's all the little stuff that I know, like even early on in the, you know, the great restaurant scene with the bird cages and whatnot, like there's shots, inserts or pickup shots or whatever you want to call them, of, you know, like food being served, and there's like pickup shots of the birds and like hands and people exchanging money and just all that stuff. It's such a weird thing, but it just stands out to me that it's different from sometimes in Hong Kong films. They didn't do that. Like it was very much like more like a fixed camera, and they didn't get those quick like almost like beauty shots and detail shots that are like thrown in there.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Where this one just it's something about it just makes it feel more like I said, a Western sort of way of shooting it.
I mean, would you say that like, because you know this is a classic loose cannon cop movie, and considering the amount of carnage in this film, would you say this is the pinnacle of loose cannon plays by his own rules cop movies?
Quite possibly.
I would say it is. Yeah. Just going back to like what I was saying about like how it evolves, I think like Tequila is pretty much all the best parts of all the other, well, not even all the other, like the two other, I guess, action roles that he. Like Mark Ken, I guess. Yeah, he's kind of the same character, and Jeff from The Killer.
Yeah, and obviously the toothpick comes back.
Exactly. Yeah,
and just all them little elements.
Just for one scene, though, just for the start, but it's nice. It's a nice little nod back to Better Tomorrow.
Yeah. But you know, the wisecrackings there, the you know, the seriousness, the passion. It just feels like it is pulling from all the different characters. And
he's a cracking shot, as we say, with the end and when he puts the bullet in the pipe and stuff like that.
Yeah. But yeah, what an opening to the. I mean, firstly, what we'll say is the very, very opening of the movie. I love how it's like really quiet, like the shot of him mixing the drink.
Yeah.
Like, no audio and stuff, and then the music, the jazz music kicks in. Yeah. It kind of sets the tone for the movie, but then just more the first of the three big action scenes.
I do love as well like the use of jazz, because I did when we were doing The Killer. I don't think we mentioned it on the show, but like John Woo wanted I think he wanted the music in the club at the start of The Killer to be jazz instead of like the song, like the Salier song they used.
Yeah.
And I think it was like Hong Kong people don't understand jazz. And I like once Choi Ark's at the picture, he's like, I want jazz.
Straight on jazz.
I want my main character to be in a jazz band.
Oh, bless him.
But yeah, that opening's insane. I was always weird though that like the crazy like guy with the machine gun, like the enforcer guy, the Japanese actor Jun Kunimura, and I was like, why is he just in this? Like, it's a weird kind of cameo. So I looked up, and he did do a handful of Hong Kong movies in the early 90s, so I don't know. Maybe he wanted to star in a few Hong Kong movies, yeah.
Yeah, it was just right place, right time sort of thing.
Yeah. I did, for like, the first few times I watched it, though, I was kind of confused. I thought he was the undercover cop. the Chow Yun-fat kills, and I was always like, kind of mental that he just went fucking crazy and started killing everybody.
Yeah, he went too loose cannon.
Yeah, until obviously one time I was watching, I wasn't looking away or something when Philip Chan burns his diamond, I was like, oh, it was the other guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he just didn't have a really bad day that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mad that like 7 minutes into the movie basically, and the just the pace of the action and stuff that kicks in.
It's
like,
insane.
really
It's like the finale of most movies.
it is.
And like, I wonder, I can't remember what I thought when I first saw it. I probably wasn't thinking of stuff like this when I first saw it, but like, I can imagine some people went into it and was like, I think they've blown their load in the first 10 minutes. Like, the rest of the film can't keep up to this. And then 15 minutes later, you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
When the warehouse scene kicks in, you're like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, just it escalates every time, basically.
Yeah.
Really
And I said the last 40 minutes is essentially one big fucking gunfight. It's insane. But yeah, it's such a good opening. It's so like, it's super violent. Like, you forget when like you become so used to just action movies, and especially Hong Kong action. Like, there's just hordes of innocent people getting gunned down. It's insane.
It's one thing that I did make note of when obviously the superintendent comes and like chews them out. It's yet again, it's one of them moments where you're like, to be fair,
Yeah.
like, calm down, Tequila.
Yeah, what's the line again? Like, I remember it's in the dub, and it was on the subtitles of the one I watched this time. And he's like, give a guy a gun and he's Superman, gives him two and he's God. Such a good line.
Yeah.
But I remember like the old dub where it's like, give a guy a gun and he's Superman.
It's just ruining it. Oh no.
There's a lot of weird dialogue in the Cantonese version. It's just randomly in English.
Yeah,
Mainly from his character when he shouts, "This is a fucking order."
I suppose it's just like, is it like the policey world? Maybe. I'm not like an expert in that area at all, and it's Hong Kong and stuff, the structure, but I know that they did massively follow like British police
Yeah, well,
structure.
I guess being a cop in like especially the 70s and 80s, you would have to know English, wouldn't you? Because you'd be working with a lot of English cops like that went over there and stuff.
So I suppose it's like, it almost like they're not speaking English, they're just saying these terms that have kind of become part of the job.
Yeah, that's probably right.
You know what I mean? So like when they go, yes sir, and stuff, it's like, to them, it's almost like they don't like recognise what the words mean. They're just saying it because that's what you do when you're saluting at the end of a meeting, sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's how I imagine it anyway.
Yeah, it could be. It could be a
thing.
mix of that, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it is kind of mad that people just, it's just spliced in there a little bit English here and there.
Yeah. But of course, we talked about it last week, the stairs bit, which is still, one of the greatest moments in cinematic history.
It's hard not to smile at that bit.
It's hard not to rewind it 4 or 5 times before you let the movie. That's why the movie, normally when I watch it, it's like 2.5 hours long. The amount of times I just keep going, oh, it's so cool. Just rewind it.
Oh, I'll have that again. Let's watch that again. But yeah, it's such a good bit. And then obviously just when the first time you hear the, like the reoccurring piece of music.
Oh, yeah.
Juk.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. That's so like it's kind of cheesy, but in a great like. It sounds like a cop theme from like the 60s or something. It's so good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really good, and it's worth. I mean, we're talking about cops and stuff. Worth sort of touching on the fact that he always did bad guys, John Woo, until this. Yeah. And this is the first one where it's like it's a film about. I don't think I'd ever really thought about it until watching it this time. Like, obviously it's about a cop, but like that's what stands this movie out from the other ones. That it's not about like gangsters or criminals or anything.
Yeah, because I've read that he was kind of accused of like making criminals like glamorizing triads and hitmen.
Yeah,
So he was probably like, yeah, that's right, actually.
I was romanticising like all these people.
Yeah, and even like Once a Thief like romanticises like a group of fucking art thieves. But yeah, it's a shame though that like this was his last Hong Kong movie, like and last Hong Kong movie, but that just movie in general with Chow Yun-fat as like the lead. Because I would have fucking loved just like every other year, just a tequila movie. You know what I mean? Like a Dirty Harry type franchise.
Yeah, I would have loved to see like the next film in the franchise, see like him taking down a drugs ring or something.
Yeah.
Really.
I mean, we'll talk about it later, but we did get a sequel in a video game, which was, I remember at the time I was like, what? There's a hard-boiled sequel video game coming out.
Yeah, that just kind of came out of nowhere. Yeah. But yeah, it's such a shame. Maybe that they could have done like an American sort of crossover movie with John Woo, you know, like we kind of talked about last week, but like, I don't know, like Tequila comes like to America, almost like a Rush Hour, but with less Chris Tucker.
And more brutal violence.
Not that it does like Chris Tucker or anything, but
no, but you don't want them to just do the buddy cop thing again.
Exactly.
Yeah. Of course, in the opening, there's the great moment where it's such a genius idea that he gets covered in flour. So when he shoots him in the face, the blood squirts all over his face.
Yeah.
Contrast to like white and red, it looks awesome.
Yeah, I believe that was like Chow Yun-fat's suggestion, wasn't it? Looking at through the trivia, I think.
Oh, was it?
I think it was his idea, because they were in like the kitchen and stuff, and he had the idea to just throw flour on his face and stuff.
Yeah, it makes total sense.
Brutally executes the guy, basically. So like I said before, when the inspectors tune him out, it's like, to be fair, I would probably be pissed off at the massive headache this entire situation's caused. Yeah. Loads of dead civilians, loads of property damage. He just executed the criminal, like right there.
His undercover agent's dead. His main lead for the whole case is dead with a massive hole in his face.
Yeah. I mean, he's very lucky to have a job.
He would have been fired, and he'd been in prison probably for like excessive force.
An inquiries, a 10-year inquiry about what happened.
I should probably mention as well that like this opening scene was shot like in a place that was about to be demolished, so and it got shitloads of noise complaints because John Woo was just shooting action scenes all night.
Yeah, classic one of them where the cops just turn up and be like, well, that's John Woo though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let him film.
Yeah. It's crazy that like, I don't know if it's like, I've seen a couple of different versions of the story, but they kind of shot the opening scene before they really had a script. I think either John Woo just heard that place was going to be demolished and like quickly coupled something together to shoot there, or he like had an idea for a movie he was going to do and thought, well, that's a location that's going to be gone soon. Let's film something there.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
So it's kind of shot as almost like a short movie, which is just insane. Yeah,
because it works really well, obviously, as well. The fact that he's kind of trying to bust up some sort of gun smuggling operation, and then the main villain's like an arms dealer, basically. Yeah. So it fits in well and stuff.
Did you read what the original version of the movie was going to be, like the original story?
Yeah, with the baby killer guy.
I'm very glad they didn't go that route.
Yeah, I remember, funnily enough, reading about that on like one night doing a deep dive on Wikipedia about, like serial killers and stuff. Yeah. And I do remember reading that story about some fucking psychopath putting like poison in baby milk formula and stuff. Yeah. So it just totally would have been a very different movie, wouldn't it?
I just can't see from that story how you'd get an action movie out of it, like, because the whole point, like, it's like with the scenes that are in this film, because the whole point of this movie, it's like gun runners and stuff. Yeah. So you've got excuse to do action scenes. I can't really see how there would have been as many action scenes of the movie about Tony Leung going around trying to poison babies.
I mean, it would have been an interesting performance by Tony Leung. I guess.
It'd be kind of fucked up to see him in a role like that.
Yeah. But I do I think I saw some stuff about one of the deciding factors was Chow Yun-fat was like, "This'll ruin your career, mate." Like to Tony Leung, like, you don't want to play a baby killer. No. And like that's one of the reasons why it changed, and I can see it. I can see it could have typecast him as the creepy villain or something if he had done it really well. The role.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it's probably right for him to not play that sort of character.
The thing, isn't it? Really, when you play a bad guy super well, that's all people are going to see as from then on.
Yeah, and I just know he would have nailed it. He totally would have nailed the role.
Of course, he would have. Yeah. So I guess the next big action scene is the warehouse scene. And this has got the moment I was talking about last week, which is just like, it's such a small thing, but it's Tony Leung's reaction after he shoots like his quote-unquote boss that he's with, and then he turns in slow motion with like a mean look on his face, sort of smiles at Anthony Wong, and as soon as he's out of his line of sight, it's just like guilt on his
Yeah.
face. It's such a good shot.
Yeah, really powerful. He's really good at like holding back tears.
Yes,
He's acting,
he
like,
is.
really
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, you proper feel for him, and it's nice because it establishes that he's not a bad person.
No.
Like, you know, in the scene before when he's like talking to like the old like boss and stuff, and he's say like trying to encourage him to retire and stuff. So you just, I mean, yes, you see him murder someone in cold blood, like a scene beforehand.
You got to do what you got to do.
But it's his character's set up like he isn't a mad dog or anything like that. He's
No.
he's a guy with principles and
Like,
stuff.
he hasn't been in it for so long that he's just been completely corrupted, which
Yeah.
I'm assuming does happen with some undercover policemen who are in it for like years. They just
Yeah.
kind of lose their identity, I guess, at some point.
Yeah.
I was thinking though, like, I wonder how much influence this had on Infernal Affairs. Would it been like a story about an undercover cop, Tony Leung?
He certainly plays the role well. So
He does.
it's very much. I get a massive like Jet Li vibe
It's the
from
hair.
him in this movie. Yeah,
The hair. It's the little spiky haircut. Yeah.
the little flat top, especially when he's just walking about in the library and stuff, like in his first scenes.
Yeah, I know what you mean. He does kind of resemble like young Jet Li in this.
Yeah, just the round glasses and everything. There's just a total vibe going on.
He's got he's got the Lethal Weapon 4 haircut and the Once Upon a Time in China glasses.
I think Jet Li just stole his vibe. Basically. What a like second set piece, like the whole thing.
There's like two action scenes. There's basically the massacre when like Johnny Wong's lads on bikes come in and kill all of the other gang's men.
Everyone's
Then-
going flying through glass and shit.
And then there's a little break and there's a bit of betrayal, and then Chow Yun-fat just rocks through the ceiling with a fucking machine gun.
Yeah, I do love that. Coming down on a bloody zip line.
Yeah, and I just love the smoke bombs come in first, and then the music just kicks in, and then it just all kicks off again. It's so good. But yeah, I love the bit with one of my favourite bits in the film is when Mad Dog's just on his bike and he does that skid,
Yeah.
and while still shooting about 15 people, and then zips up, spins around, and continues shooting. It's such a needlessly cool but just awesome moment.
There's just so many, isn't there, in this movie, though?
Yeah,
where you
it's-
just think, fucking hell.
We're going to be in danger of just listing off all the cool moments.
I know.
So we're going to try not to do that.
Because probably my favourite shot during this scene, well, there's two actually. The obvious one is the whipping the shotgun out one.
Yeah.
But I think from an action-y and camera angle and the art of it, I think the bit when Tony Leung's like diving through the car.
I was going to mention that's fucking insane. That
Yeah,
shot.
and there's like sparks and shrapnel going off,
Yeah.
and the camera's tracking along with them.
Through the car.
And it's just like, oh, that looks so good, that scene.
Basically,
It's
just a stuntman just diving through an exploding car.
yeah, but it's so nice the way
It
it's
is.
shot and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I made sure to keep an eye on it this time, because I'm never sure if the moments where the bikes are exploding, when he's just fucking shooting them out the air.
Yeah.
I'm like, is that to say it? But no, it's a fucking real stuntman on there, just blowing up on a bike and going on fire. I was like, what the fuck?
Just
How did they not
shitloads
kill him?
of body armor.
Yeah, it must be. Yeah. It's so funny, that bit though. How, like, you don't think it's going to go more mental than jumping over a bike to shoot another guy on a bike, and then it's basically just like pull, and one just comes flying in the air.
Yeah, and I love the fact that his shotgun is like some sort of like cannon.
It's basically a fucking cannon, or like a tank cannon.
The noise is it's like distorted the audio. It's that
insane.
powerful.
Yeah.
But I do love it.
Oh, it's so good. That whole scene's insane.
Yeah, start to finish. And it's, the fact that there's really good acting and stuff. It isn't just raw like action. There's like a point to it and stuff, and then the action comes.
But I was wanted to mention one big issue in the movie is fucking Chow Yun-fat's outfits. Fuck me, he's just got some comfy outfits.
Just got some big high pants and some loose fitting shirts.
Yeah, just like loose chinos, some nice breezy shirts.
Well, it's warm, in Hong Kong.
You just know he was comfortable as out making this film. Same with fucking Tony Leung, really. He wears some nice suits in the movie.
Yeah, definitely.
And Anthony Wong, who just wears like the same like orange blazer. He must have just loved that fucking blazer.
I do like how casual and comfortable Chow Yun-fat is in this movie. Yeah. Like, I think he really did find his stride by this point. Not that he ever hadn't, to be honest, in the other movies, but I just feel like in this one he just seems super at ease with everything he's doing.
Yeah.
Like going back to the library, like after the guy gets shot, he gets executed, and Chow Yun-fat turns up and he's like he's eating something like a snack or something.
He's eating like a McMuffin.
Yeah, and then he's I don't know, just something about Chow Yun-fat solving crime while casually eating just puts a smile on my face.
Just having his breakfast.
I really like it.
One problem was moments like that in movies, I'm always like, oh, I want that now, I want a McMuffin.
Make you hungry. Let's talk about. It starts you off early, but it tips the fact that the inspector's obviously contacting somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he goes to the morgue and he salutes the body. Yeah. After the tea room shootout. Mm-hmm. So you kind of like start to get a flavour of like, oh, okay, so like I like the fact that the superintendent isn't just like this, I got the mayor up my ass character. Like there's a reason why he's taken like tequila off the case.
It's
and
just
stuff.
Genuinely a lot at risk and big people's lives at risk and stuff. Yeah.
So I like that. It's not just bureaucracy or some sort of like atypical sort of like do your job tequila. He's trying to like ride that line and keep people alive and stuff.
Yeah.
I like all the stuff where Tony Leung's character sending flowers.
Yeah.
I like all that. That's really cool.
It's still kind of mental that, like, I don't know, like, I like know a bit about music, but I wouldn't be able to fucking transcribe fa fa li fa so ro into numbers. I'm like, what the fuck?
Bit of a convoluted system,
little
isn't
bit,
it, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. You've got to suspend your disbelief a little bit.
Like, I always think when I'm watching, like, am I just dumb, or is this ridiculous?
Like, I couldn't do that. Definitely not. Especially when they're not even familiar with the songs and stuff.
No.
You know, the fact that they set up the female, the like madam or what's she called again, Teresa
Chang in the movie. Yeah.
I mean, in my subtitles, I think she's exclusively referred to as madam. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think like she's credited as Teresa, and like the actress is Teresa Mo. But yeah, I think she usually that's not the case in like Hong Kong police. They just always call all the women officers madam.
Yeah, but yeah, I like that setup. I like the fact that there's a bit of lightness between the scenes, like between him and her and stuff. Like I like when he's reading the newspaper and and everyone thinks he's like about to announce something about the case or something.
Yeah,
and Tequila's like, oh, where am I gonna live? Like I can't afford these prices and stuff. Again, like just the right amount of humour.
Yeah, because they're obviously on the outs, I guess, at this point. They're in a relationship, but, like, you know, they're not speaking. They're not on good terms. Which hands him back his underpants later and stuff.
Yeah. I believe there was, like, a bit of a subplot. Like, well, a bit more of that subplot originally, like, planned and filmed.
It feels like it, yeah. It does feel a bit, like, underbaked, I guess.
Yeah, and they just trimmed it down a little bit. Fair play.
Like, the bit that I always think's, like, not necessarily in a major criticism way, but slightly convoluted in a way where, like, that could go easily wrong. Where he's like, I'll send in the hospital. Where he's like, I'll send you flowers, and then slips a flower in her pocket, and then she finds it just at the right time.
Yeah, she just doesn't find it all night or something. Like, what would have happened?
In an alternate spoof version, they're just like getting gunned down to shit, going, I hope she finds that flower soon.
Fuck.
What do you think of old Anthony Wong in the movie? His old Johnny Wong, who was just it's one of his handful of just mega shithead arsehole roles. Just evil bastards.
Yeah, it's in danger. The character's in danger of being overshadowed by Mad Dog.
He is. He definitely is, yeah.
Because he's one of them bad guys that's just like, I'm a villain. And like,
he is kind of one-dimensional movie bad guy, isn't he? Kind of, but like, you know, heightened a little bit because Anthony Wong's a good actor.
Well, that's it, and I think like that's kind of what he's there to do, really, as well. Though to be fair, like he's just the villain that's there to be beaten, basically. You don't need to like really understand his motives and stuff, and you get enough out of that through Mad Dog and stuff. I felt like towards the end.
Yeah, Mad Dog's such a good like because we did a whole show on this once of like movie bad guys, but you can't beat a good sub-level movie bad, like the guy just under the main bad guy. Yeah. He's like up there with like Gary Busey, Lethal Weapon. And
exactly. Yeah. But no, I having said that though, I do like his character. It's very well done. I love the fact that he's got like a different suit on in every scene. This as well changes his outfit. Like 10 times or something throughout the course of the
No,
film.
it always seems to be that same blazer, though.
Well, yeah, but he has a different coloured thing on. It's like the suit, the actual suit itself, I think, is a different colour in every scene.
I always think it's orange.
Yeah, he always plays like it's always the outer bit. I think it's the same, but like his actual suit is a different colour throughout the entire movie. It just keeps changing. Yeah, and I love that. I don't know, just the way he's portrayed, it's really nice. Like, he never like really guns people down till the very, very end when he shoots them, the staff and stuff. But he doesn't really ever do anything kind of twatty throughout the entire movie.
No, the kind of which is good, really, because you get the impression he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Because of what he's made, like the Alan character do and stuff. But like, they kind of hold it off right till the end when he just does something awful, and you're like, Jesus Christ, he is a psycho.
Yeah.
That's such a good moment, though, when Mad Dog isn't a nice guy.
No, by any
He's
stretch.
quite willing to just gun people down if he feels it's like good for business. But his rule is no innocent people, please. Like, what the fuck? There's a time and a place. There's a time and a place to kill people, and it's not now.
Yeah, and he just comes charging in and blows them all away.
But in the one time in a John Woo movie, he ran out of bullets.
Yeah. yeah. It's great filmmaking that in that moment you feel sorry for him. You feel bad for him.
Yeah.
Even though he's like a total bastard and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that great moment where him and Alan like dive into the room, and then there's like revealed that there's people between them, and there's like a sort of quiet moment to stand up, and they both like quietly agree to let them go. That's an awesome moment. Yeah,
and I think that's what this movie does really well, and what John Woo tended to do throughout his movies. Those quiet moments in between, when they hit like an emotional high during all the action scenes and stuff, but like in this film, like the boat scenes and stuff kind of slow the movie down and give the film a bit of pacing and make it feel like that there's something going on.
Yeah, and even like we were just saying there, like even quiet moments during an action scene.
Yeah, even that, just musical stops sometimes, and there's a moment to take a breath. Like with Teresa, like saving the babies and stuff. Like just those little moments in between all the chaos where you get a chance to catch your breath and stuff.
It's like I was saying a couple of weeks ago when there was Imitators. That come out, and it's like, they're fun movies and stuff, but that's the kind of stuff you miss when it's just like a constant barrage of just people with two guns, and it's like not very stylish or like dynamic or interesting. And then you realise the bits that are missing are those little moments, like the quiet moments or a little breather moment or something like that.
Yeah, so well done in these movies.
It is a nice moment though with Teresa, where she just fucking smacks that guy. He doesn't quite know how to react to it.
Yeah.
And then later on he smacks her back, so she just blows him away.
Yeah, point blank. Getting good setup and payoff. Something that's always like a sign of good movie making, when it's not just stuff happening.
Once again, John Woo not wanting to let a good idea to go to waste, uses that exact same moment in Hard Target.
Yeah, well, why not? Pick up. Yeah, because obviously something else, the DNA of this movie that ends up in Hard Target is Mad Dog's big ass gun.
Mad Dog's gun, yeah. Mad Dog's gun and like guys on motorbikes with machine guns.
Yeah, again, he's learning as he's going, sort of. It's cool to see that.
I chuckled as well this time with because we've made note of it in The Killer, that moment where he like fires at a sheet and it goes on fire. Same thing happens in this, in the hospital at the end. I was thinking, he was like, oh, that was good. Do that again. Yeah, it's when like him and Mad Dog are like firing really close range in a little operating theatre, and he fires like at one of the...
Oh, yes, and he pushes it on.
Yeah.
Sorry, I missed that. Yeah, I just remembered.
But yeah, I guess we'll move on to the hospital, because it is like the last hour of the movie, essentially.
Well, this is it. It's mad, isn't it? I think I clocked, it's like 1 hour 17 minutes when the first... about 1 hour 16 when the first land at the hospital, and you think, bloody hell.
Yeah, and then there's about like 10 minutes of setup, and then the last 40 minutes is just essentially one big action scene.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
It's just like about 4 or 5 big setups, and then you've got that... It's like, it's I'm not taking anything away from it, like the big one shot, which is 2 shots. There's a little cheeky edit in there before they get in the elevator, but that's 2 insanely difficult... Like, I wonder how long they rehearsed that, like each shot.
Yeah, it's clever.
And the insanity of, like, they get in the elevator, and when the door's shut, just everyone is scrambling behind that door, redressing the set so it looks like a different floor.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. It's one that you really notice as well. Like, when it happens, you think, hang on. Like,
yeah.
Like, what just happened there?
Yeah. There's an awesome little moment where, like, when the shot it finally ends, and the camera, like, he's like sped up the film a bit, so the camera like zooms into the room, and then it almost goes like first-person shooter for a few seconds.
Massive like video game moment.
Yeah.
It feels like.
And then you get that great, it just never stops when like Tony Leung does a roll under a table, pops out with 2 guns, blows the guy away, then it zips pans to fucking Mad Dog with a machine gun. You're like, Jesus!
Yeah.
It just never stops. Yeah.
I love the shot where them two are shooting at each other down the corridor.
Oh, yeah.
And he jumps through the window at the end.
It's insane.
It's like, again, like, how much practice did that take to get that time? Because the camera moves like perfectly in sync with them and stuff. It's like so well done. Yeah, I suppose like starting at the hospital bit, that I love all the like investigation stuff that's happening like early in that scene as well. You know, the fact that, I mean, the setup for them being at the hospital is the fact that the the criminal informant guy has been like beaten to shit.
Yeah.
Tony's character like slips the lighter into his pocket and shoots the lighter, like crafty. So they're like semi-visiting. I mean, I think he already knows that there's guns at the hospital. I think by that point.
Yeah, he tells him when he ends up at the bar, and he says like, "Oh, his stash is in the hospital." Yeah.
But like, there's like a dual purpose of he's also like there because his criminal informant is there, and he's like trying to protect him.
Yeah.
And I like that it goes wrong. I like that they're under the impression they're in control.
I was going to say, he doesn't do a very good job of protecting them.
No, they don't. Because, they move him to another room and they think, oh, we've got this, and like we'll hide in here. And when the 2 guys come to assassinate the informant, and then they blow the guys away, they're very like cocksure, like, oh yeah, we're in control here. There's nothing to worry about. But like Mad Dog's in the background, kind of.
Meanwhile, Mad Dog's just starring in his own slasher movie.
Exactly, yeah. Creeping up on doors and bloody like dressing as a doctor and stuff. Yeah.
There's a few shots of this movie where Philip Kwok, like his mannerisms and his face, he reminds us of like Bolo. How he just looks like, fuck me, he's terrifying.
Yeah.
When he like widens his eyes and stuff like that. Yeah.
When he gets, like even more evil looking when he gets the bloody burn on his face.
Yeah, yeah. Which I'm assuming he gets when Chow Yun-fat throws that grenade in the end of the warehouse shootout.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Yeah, it's funny that, because I kind of thought, did I miss something? But they don't like linger on that, do they really? The fact that Mad Dog kind of loses an eye or something, or gets his face severely burned.
Yeah, I'm guessing it was just that grenade going off really close to his gish.
But it certainly gives him character, like, it adds to his evilness.
It certainly does. There's one thing though, like I did say a few weeks ago that I was like, I don't think Chow Yun-fat almost died during the making of Hard Boiled, but I forgot about that big run down the corridor, and then was reading up that as like John Woo didn't get what he wanted on the first take, so he took over control of timing the explosions. And you can kind of see it on Chow Yun-fat's face once again, like, Jesus, as he's running down the corridor.
Yeah, he's got that hunched shoulders look.
Yeah, running. He's basically just running for his fucking life.
Yeah, I'm sure I saw in the trivia that Chow Yun-fat like checked the dailies, basically, checked the camera feed, and then was like, oh, that's great, the bastard or something.
Yeah, it was like about the transition when he's turned around and he was like, that's good, that motherfucker.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. There's singed eyebrows. Yeah. Crazy. Because, once again, like, I guess pyrotechnics and explosives must have just been really cheap during this period, because the amount of shit that blows up in this entire last scene.
It's mental. Like, I know, like, we're saying the tea house and stuff was the building that was going to be demolished, but like, what the fuck was the hospital building that we're using? Was that going to be demolished as well?
Well, I've read that. I don't know about the externals, but I know a lot of the internals were filmed in an old Coca-Cola bottling factory.
Oh, okay.
So
makes sense.
They converted, they shot the warehouse scene and the hospital scene in the same location, and they just obviously redressed it and stuff and made it. So I wonder if maybe the externals were like the Coca-Cola bottling factory as well. Yeah. Because some big ass explosions go. I mean, surely it wasn't an external of a real hospital.
I would think not.
No. The one bit that massively sticks in my head about this film, the visuals and stuff, is the bit when they find the door, when they go behind the morgue.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know why, it almost, not in a bad way, but it feels almost out of place. Like, I feel like the tone of that scene is a little bit out of place almost.
What do you mean, the idea of having a big storage compartment in a morgue under a hospital, or just the style of the style of the camera work or something?
The style, I think, the fact that it suddenly goes very blue and metal and almost feels futuristic and stuff.
Goes a bit James Cameron.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it really does. Yeah, listen, I wouldn't even list it probably as a complaint of mine, but I always just know that like, when I think, if somebody says like hard boiled to us, one of the first things that pops into my head is that scene with the door. For some reason, it really sticks in my mind. Like,
That's interesting.
Yeah, something about the way it's filmed or something. It just feels like almost like a different movie for a 5-minute sort of chunk of the movie.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, because it's just like, the rest of the movie is just gritty, down and dirty, and then that seems a bit like slicker. I know what you mean about feeling like it's from a different movie.
Yeah,
but
like I think it's the fact that the set looks so clean and futuristic.
I do like that bit beforehand though, where they're trying to find like the door and Giant Fat's just opening all the corpses and going, "I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I'm sorry."
You're like, ooh. Yeah, still superstitious.
Yeah,
because it is a genius idea, to be fair.
It
Storing guns under a hospital, like, to be fair.
yeah, pretty clever.
Because people are funny around corpses and stuff. So a bit of taboo, and I reckon you could easily smuggle God knows what in and out
I
of a
wouldn't be
morgue.
surprised if someone tried it after watching this movie.
Yeah, some big drug empire or something.
We do also get like a bit of a fist and foot battle with Mad Dog taking on Alan and Tequila.
Yeah,
Getting the absolute piss bad out of them because Philip Quacks just looks like one of those. He looks like I know he was a kung fu guy in the 70s and 80s and stuff, but like, he just looks solid, doesn't he? He's like Dick Way.
He looks like somebody you wouldn't want to mess with.
No.
Definitely not.
I do like that line though when he's like, there's two kinds of people I hate: fucking cops and people who kill their bosses. It's
Yeah,
like, oh, these guys are fucked.
Yeah, it's basically just the Alan character. He's just describing it. Alan must be thinking, "That's me twice."
Oh fuck. But yeah, that's terrifying when he's just. Tony Lung can't force the gun out. He's like, he's holding Tony Lung's hand with the gun, and then he's trying to choke him, and he's just not moving.
Yeah, well, it's just like overpowering him.
Yeah.
Basically, just with stoicness.
Yeah, like I said, if this movie was made in the 70s, he would have been played by Bolo.
Yeah, he probably would have. The baby stuff, though. Let's talk about the babies.
Yeah, it's such a because of just not just because of the poster, but it's because I like how the movie poster's like a combination of a bunch of different moments.
Yeah,
He's in like the underground bit, but he's wearing his flak jacket and he's holding the baby.
Yeah,
it's like a greatest
all of it,
hits
yeah.
poster. It's like what you were saying. Like that is the one John Woo poster that is iconic.
yeah, it's like irrefutably.
It's a classic
This
movie
film.
poster. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, it's very like darkly amusing that he's just holding this cute little baby whilst just shooting. Like that's the part where like it gets super violent again, when like people are like it's slow motion blood arcs coming out of people's mouths.
Yeah.
You get the kind of the similar shot to Bullet in the Head where you just see someone's back get fucking shot out with a bullet.
Somebody gets shot in the head, right, as well, don't they? I think,
Yeah.
like in that crazy effect where it's like it appears on the forehead.
Oh yeah, the little like probably like a little bit of thread pulling off the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really nice. But yeah, and he's telling the baby not to look and stuff like
Yeah.
that. You shouldn't be watching this.
Yeah. It's
A little
X-rated
bit of
action.
comedy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like all the stuff with how the cops kind of. I don't know what the right word is, but they kind of like all get positioned into the hospital dressed as doctors and stuff.
Yeah.
I like all that.
And when the SWAT team come in, they're just like they're not portrayed as like, oh, here's another group of cops that get shot. They just come in and like kick ass and then
Yeah, save the babies. And
saving the babies, and then just that one absolute psycho bad guy who's just like, you're saving babies, and just starts shooting at them.
yeah, like come on, mate.
It's like, is he like Mad Dog's brother or something? He's fucking stepbrother.
Because yeah, the one minor nitpick that I have is like, I understand that they're trying to keep the patients inside so they can use them as hostages, but I was thinking like, why would they like spray outside the windows and shoot the hostages that had already left?
Yeah,
Like,
it's
that
kinda-
doesn't make any
It's
sense.
kind of mental. It's like, what's the plan?
Like, surely that would just make it far worse, because the
Yeah.
police would just fucking be like, oh, well, if you're going to do that, let's just storm the building and kill you all then.
Yeah,
Like, surely.
Just be like someone on a bullhorn going, all right, well, for that, just so you know, we're not arresting any of you.
Yous are all dead.
We're gonna fucking shoot y'all.
'Cause, that didn't sit right with me. Just shooting out the window and killing people that had already left the hospital.
I think there's just still a bit of that fucking bullet in the head anger left in John Woo while making this movie. He's like, fuck off. he couldn't get it out of his system during Once a Thief.
Yeah.
So he was like, I'll hold on to this and fucking kill some more people in Hard
Angry,
Boiled.
very angry.
That's one thing we'll keep forgetting to mention, actually, like the actual Chinese titles of the movies.
Oh, no, we don't.
The Chinese title of Hard Boiled is God of Guns, which I've always thought was cool.
Nice. Yeah, it's because I like Hard Boiled, and I like because I don't know if he says it in the Chinese like actual language version, but the Johnny character says like you're a hard boiled cop towards the end. And I like that, just cool that the title of the movie's in there, and it kind of works in that sense.
Exactly.
So I like it as a title, to be honest, Hard Boiled.
It is truly good, yeah. Plus, first time I'd never heard the term hard boiled detective or hard boiled cop when the first time I saw it, so I was like, eggs? What the fuck? Why is it called hard boiled?
Yeah, just waiting for the scene.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, when's the eggs and that? Like, what's that?
I didn't see one egg. 1 star.
Not enough eggs.
Oh, there's probably a fucking review on Amazon that says that, man. You know what Amazon reviews are like?
There'd be some twat that's like, not enough action.
It wasn't in English, and there was no eggs. 1 star. So I guess highlights. I mean, I think we've gone through all the highlights. The whole movie's a fucking highlight, pretty much. So.
What do you list?
Yeah,
really. Yeah, all of the hospital scene, obviously. Yeah, the warehouse with the shotgun, the spinning around. I like, as always with me, any time Chow Yun-fat has a big shotgun, I'm happy. But
yeah, you love your Chow Yun. Do you like Chow Yun-fat shotgun more than 2 Berettas Chow Yun-fat?
I think so, I think so. Yeah, you can't beat just Chow Yun-fat with a big pump action shotgun.
You get shotgun action in Hard Boiled, so yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I love the bit when he's loading I've always loved it when he's loading it into the shells, and he
looks weirdly at peace, doesn't he?
He does. Yeah, he's just waiting for the massive battle.
It's like he just bought that shotgun last weekend, and he's been waiting for an opportunity to use it. Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's good. This
he got it for Christmas. He hadn't had a chance yet.
It's like, it's much better than my old one. This shotgun. He's like upgraded. I mean, what would be? Let's pick what's the number one favourite scene, I guess.
Well, it's stairs bit, innit?
Yeah, I mean, how many times does he slide on his back? Probably that one scene, so it's got to be that one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the one bit of sliding action we get in the movie. Not true though. He does slide on his knees at one point with a shotgun, so that is pretty cool as well. That'd be number 2 as far as slides go.
Yeah, I think it would be genuinely hard to pick a favourite scene.
It is,
to be honest.
Yeah,
there's so many. There's just many times that it's definitely a film that you have to watch repeatedly, because there's some of the action scenes, it's almost like overload. There's too much going on. Yeah,
there is parts you miss on the first time you watch it. Yeah, and I've come to like I love that every time I watch it now. I love that basically the whole battle between just Tony Leung and Mad Dog.
Yeah.
Like that bit where they're just literally cowering down behind windows and just randomly firing at each other. And like you said, that awesome one shot where he jumps through the window at the end of it and stuff. There's just so many awesome moments in that whole, about 10 minutes of them just squaring off against each other.
I mean, the amount of blanks and stuff they must have gone through filming this.
I would love to know. Like, you always hear those, like, oh, blah, 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 used so many gallons of blood in this movie. I would like to know how many shells were fired during the making of Hard Boiled.
Quite a lot.
Yeah. Another highlight, because we haven't really talked about it that much, the score. By Michael Gibbs. So they're like outsourced and got like not a Hong Kong composer this time.
Yeah, I guess is that because of the whole decision to go jazz route and stuff, maybe to some degree?
Maybe, because there is a lot. That's the thing. There's a video on YouTube that the jazz song in the jazz club that Chow Yun-fat and his mate play.
Yeah.
Like, no one knows who that's by, so I don't actually think it's by the composer. People have been trying to find out, because it's not on any soundtrack releases it's had, so it's like some mysterious jazz song.
That's interesting.
Yeah. But there is like some jazz influence in the scores, like, sax. That's an instant star for a movie. If it's got sax on there, you got bit of slap bass as well, also an extra star. But yeah, I like how the main theme, they're like it's like, it's not steel drums, but it kind of sounds like steel drums.
Yeah,
like 48 Hours Commando, and it makes sense. Both James Horner scores. James Horner also composed Red Heat, which he stole for The Killer. He must just be a big James Horner fan.
Yeah. That's good though. It gives you like a very familiar feel.
A great
again,
like 80s action movie vibe.
I don't know if that goes towards making this film feel more accessible to some degree.
Yeah. I certainly think like a score like this makes it feel bigger.
Yeah,
If you know what I mean.
yeah, because it helps the emotion and stuff a lot of the time. You know, like the scenes with Tony Leung on his boat and stuff.
Yeah, I love those pieces of music. The quiet mo with like sort of subtle sax in the background and stuff. And of course, he's funky. Which I always consider his theme when he's driving his car. Yeah, that's got some ripping, sexy sax in it. That bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And that's how the film ends as well, which I love. It like ends on that big happy music with him going off on his boat, but you're just like, what a movie! As soon as that movie kicks in,
because
music. Sorry.
It's a bit of a fake out, but I don't think as an audience, you're never like convinced that he's dead. To be fair, Tony Leung's character, I think everyone in the cinema probably was like waiting for the reveal of he's alive.
Yeah.
But it's still for a moment, you know, he burns his records and stuff, and you think, oh, did he die at the end? And then hey, he's alive.
Yeah. John Woo's probably just happy he could keep alive one of his like gangster characters because he's a cop, so he doesn't have to pay for his crimes.
He doesn't have to die.
And of course, you know, no Chow Yun-fat death because he's a cop as well.
Yeah. So I do absolutely wish they did more cop movies and probably just more tequila movies.
Yeah, I would love like even just like 3 of them, you know, 3 or 4, just every couple of years doing a tequila movie. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, missed opportunity. But you know, definitely. A pair of them wanted to go to Hollywood and stuff, and
do their own thing.
Money,
it's totally understandable the moves to Hollywood. I mean, I'm sure most Hong Kong directors that was always like, oh, I wish I could make movies in America, the big time, and all that type of stuff.
Yeah. And you know, John Woo made his name. He did well, really. I mean, you know, he hasn't got a massive string of smash hit movies to his name in America, but for the movies that he has done, I think a reasonable list of films.
Well, I mean, you know, people that aren't necessarily John Woo fans but are just general action fans will cite Face Off as one of the best action movies of like past 30 years or something.
Yeah.
To me, though, I mean, I do like Face Off, don't get us wrong. I didn't love it when I first saw it. I thought it was good. It's an unpopular choice, weirdly, for even people who like that style of action. But Hard Target's always been my favourite of his American movies.
Yeah, me too. I mean, one reason why I would always pick Hard Target is just because of Lance Henriksen and stuff. And that,
just, you've got Lance Henriksen, Van Damme, and John Woo. That's just never going to get that again.
No, exactly. and bloody Wilfred thingamajig.
Of course, yeah.
But anyway, we're not here to talk about Hard Target.
We will one day, though. We definitely will one day.
What about it's a tough one, and I don't think I've got many criticisms of Hardboiled.
I know a few, just because I thought, you know, I don't want to.
Well, this is why I do like the balls out.
Well, like I said before, like the Anthony Wong character is a bit one-dimensional bad guy, but I was thinking like the same could be said for the killer, really. Like the what's his name in that again? I can't remember. You know, the big stupid head guy. I can't remember his character name. What in the killer? Like the power hungry nephew. Like he basically just shows up at the end.
Yes.
Like same could be said for him. Kind of just like, oh, it's the gangster bad guy. But and it was a Mad Dog mix-up for that in this movie, though. Like already said.
Yeah.
And like you said, when you kind of find out that they were kind of writing and rewriting it as they went, so that kind of makes sense that it doesn't. There's parts that don't flow as smoothly as it could have, and like you said, there's a few bits where you're like, oh, there's something there, but has it been cut out, or was it just never expanded upon? But
like the stuff with the girlfriend and stuff feels a bit,
but it's just it's without like I don't mean to make it like a dumb action movie, but it's a movie that's all about its action set pieces.
Yeah.
But the characters are all interesting at the same time. They're not just here's action guy, there's love interest, there's shouty police chief. Like we said, the characters are all interesting and have a bit of depth.
Yeah, definitely. Like you know, you barely know anything about Chow Yun-fat's character, to be honest.
Not really
at all. You just know that he's kind of willing to do whatever it takes to get the villain. But it kind of works. His character comes through the screen. It does work.
You get like a little bit where the John Woo character says like, "Oh, you never used to be this hard. You never like this hard faced and like brutal and stuff." Yeah. So there's a little bit there that he's been kind of like hardened by his job, which is your classic loose cannon cop, innit?
Yeah, like you've got to have something in your past, some skeletons. I say I struggle to really criticise this film.
Yeah,
I think
that was just me going. I guess. Yeah. If I had to criticise the film, but it's not going to criticise Hard Boiled.
No, not at all. Yeah, it's one of them films that I would show to a lot of people that weren't really even into Hong Kong action movies. I'd be like, well, let's start you off with Hard Boiled, so you can see how we go from there.
It's hard though, because when you see Hard Boiled like early on, because to be honest, I didn't really go into this on the Killer episode. When I first saw the Killer, I liked it, but I wasn't blown away by it. It took us like a couple of watches to really warm up to the Killer.
Yeah,
because you're expecting Hard Boiled, but you're not going to fucking get Hard Boiled, are you?
Yeah, I suppose it's like you don't want to put that as your your benchmark. Really.
Yeah, because I went like Hard Target, Hard Boiled, and then the rest.
Like nothing's as good, basically.
Or at least nothing that's like it's full on. You know what I mean? If you want just constant full on action for 2 hours, but yeah, like I said, can't really, no real valid criticisms.
No. It's mad to think that we were around about 10 when this came out.
Yeah, 92,
yeah. Crazy. If only we'd seen it when we were about 10.
Yeah. I would have saw it one, probably 94, 95.
Yeah, it wasn't too far after,
because it was after Hard Target came out on video, and then this came out on video just after, I think. Because I remember like my old Tartan video has like on it from the director of Hard Target, so it would have got a video release after Hard Target.
Yeah.
And just renting it purely off the back of that. Oh, it's the same guy who did that Van Damme movie. And then, shitting me pants for 2 hours.
Wearing out the videotape.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Next person to rent it, it's like, what's this? I can't even see what he's doing the stairs. He's like, oh, fuzzy.
Totally. That's substantially more worn, that bit of the movie.
Fucking so much. Was he wanking or something?
I'm sure I remember even like one of my memories from being a kid has been at like your house and just watching that scene repeatedly.
Yeah, probably.
You just go, I'm going to watch it again, rewind it, stuff.
But speaking of watching it at home, let's talk about Blu-rays and shit.
Yes.
So probably still the only version that's like kind of that you should buy if you can find it is the old American Dragon Dynasty Blu-ray from like over 10 years ago now, if you can find it. But by most accounts, it's a pretty, substandard transfer and all that type of stuff. And it's got extras listed on the box that aren't even on the disc, apparently, so that's good.
Oh dear.
Yeah. I did find a couple of Italian and Spanish Blu-rays, but I'm going to guess they're all using the same transfer. But like we've talked about on every one of these shows, like why the fuck aren't these movies out? And we kind of found a few things, but like I did some digging today. As soon as it's the last show of the John Woo month, I wanted to get some concrete answers. So thanks to folks on the Blu-ray.com forums, there's a few threads on there I managed to get some information from. So rights for all the Golden Princess / Cinema City movies, so like Better Tomorrow, and I think The Killer, but I don't think Hard Boiled's included in that, are apparently with a company called Calhoun Development, which are like a construction real estate type company. They apparently started Golden Princess in the 80s when movies were big, but when they weren't bringing in as much money as they used to, they decided to get out of the business and they sold all the rights to Fortune Star, which makes sense. But only for Asia. They still have the international rights.
God.
So now there's either two things happening from what I can gather, because it was kind of two separate reasons. They either don't want to deal with it as they're not in the film business anymore and don't even respond to requests about the movies, or they want a very large amount of money for someone to buy the entire library of Cinema City movies, or nothing. Either way, not good.
No, not good. No.
Yeah. And this is all like apparently, like there's no real. I'm just going off what people are saying and things. So I'm guessing there's probably truth in there somewhere.
Yeah.
There was a quote recently. John Woo's been interviewed because Silent Night's out soon and stuff, and they even asked him like, what's the deal with like Blu-rays and 4Ks? And even he said he tried and he can't because he doesn't own the rights. So even he must have like tried to find out who owned them and get in contact, and nothing. So the fucking John Woo himself can't make it happen.
It's crazy, isn't it? But I think that's often the crux of many like films from like the 90s and stuff and the early thousands. If there's ever a film that's not out on Blu-ray, it's usually because of some bullshit reason like that.
Rights are tied up somewhere. Someone doesn't even know who owns the rights. That's a problem sometimes as well when companies are trying to release stuff.
Yeah, so frustrating.
That's what I think we should do. We should start a GoFundMe, get the money together, buy them, and then just give them to Idiot Films and Eureka. In exchange for a lifetime supply of Blu-rays.
Sounds like a good deal to me.
Yeah, so we get that GoFundMe started, or at least a petition. Come on.
Yeah, because it's frustrating that like a lot of the time all you're doing there is sadly just forcing people to pirate as well.
Mhm.
You know, if you can't get it like through official means, and you really want to see these films, you've got another option but to
Yeah.
you know, turn to torrent sites and stuff and get Blu-ray rips.
It's funny though, because there was someone commenting on one of those threads saying like, Idiot Film should just announce they're releasing a Better Tomorrow 1, 2 and The Killer and see what they do.
Yeah,
Just so they'll finally start talking about it, or at least acknowledging that. Because someone also said this company, Colin Development, has also been like swallowed up by 2 other businesses in recent years, so they probably at this point don't even know.
Yeah.
If it's like maybe people have asked a couple of years ago, but now they might not even know what the fuck they have. It's crazy, man. Like, why would you hold on to something like that? Like, fair enough, it might not be worth a lot in the grand scheme to them, but just fucking sell them to someone else.
Just let it go.
Yeah, but I saw somewhere. I don't know if this is true either, but apparently what they want is 40 million for the entire library of like Cinema City, Golden Princess.
Feels like a lot, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
But it was a lot of movies though, because it also includes stuff like City on Fire, like the Ringo Lam movies from back then. It includes a lot of stuff. I think all the like Aces Go Places movies, I think, were Cinema City.
Right.
So there's a lot of classics in there.
Yeah, so actually, because I'm just thinking about like a handful of movies, but yeah, I suppose there's quite a few.
Cinema City, I think, were like second behind Golden Harvest for most of the 80s, like as far as like money making and pumping out movies and shit. So yeah. It's a shame. Hopefully, at some point, it gets resolved. Like, hopefully, something will happen once Silent Night is. I hope Silent Night's a big hit. That might get the wheels moving a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe get people talking about it again.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
So anyway, merch and art and all that jazz.
Yeah, there's been like a ton over the years. I sent you 2 pieces of art. One by Andy Howe.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the birdcage. I quite like the imagery being used on that.
Yeah, that is nice. Yeah,
like with the cranes flying out of the birdcage. A nice combination of 2 aspects of the movie. Again, because we didn't really mention about the cranes, but it was like massive key part of the movie.
I
always feel like, is that a Blade Runner sort of nod?
A little bit, yeah. It's almost like that's what you get for doves in this movie, bird cranes. Paper cranes.
But it's a cool piece of art anyway.
It's really nice, very moody. Yeah, I like it.
Dave Kennedy, aka
Jerry Sheriff.
Yeah,
our old mate.
yeah, we met him, didn't we?
I was going to say old mate. We met him once, but he was very nice. He's very nice.
He was. Yeah, I got the I got the Emil from him, the little hand drawn Emil.
And I got Captain Chaos. Yeah,
that's good. One of them mad moments in our lives where we're like, kind of good these, do you just sell them or something?
No, it wasn't him.
Was it the next person?
No, it was, what's his name? Paul Shipper, the guy who does like all the Spielberg and Star Wars art now.
I'm merging 2 memories.
I remember standing there and going, good quality these, it's better than the ones you get online, like. And then realising, after he was like, do you want us to sign them? We were like, aye. Fuck, it's his art, man. We thought he was just some vendor selling prints.
Some guy peddling them. Classic.
And then I think we're realising them. We're like, okay, they were in the artist's aisle.
We're not just in some random poster aisle.
Yeah, and then we're in the day, I'm like, all right, mate, what's good artist? Like, we were actually like respectful.
Yeah, that's right. We're on board at that point. Once we met Dave Kennedy, we understood what was happening.
You say he's done his final. He's not going to do conventions anymore. He's done his last one the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just like
say enough.
They just like cost too much, like the travel and the expenses and all that to really keep doing it, which is a shame.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to tag him out on the art and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
because it is a nice piece of art, like good sort of like warped bit of perspective, like the 2 corridors. And that.
I was trying to find that the other night and like see if it was available anywhere, because then I found it was like some big theme of loads of artists doing movies from '92, and you could pick the movie, and he picked Hard Boiled, which is cool. Yeah, but I couldn't find it. It was for sale somewhere, but nothing would happen when I like clicked add to cart or anything. It was like 30 quid or something like that. I think for a print. I would just like a cool Hard Boiled poster, and that is an awesome one.
I have to keep my eyes and ears open, I guess, to see if they're ever like knocking about in the community.
Yeah, because he did an older one as well, didn't he? Did the style, but he did a red one that was just all red, which is nice as well.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Yeah, nice. But yeah, unfortunately, there isn't a ton of art out there like for it.
It's weird. I figured the one film that we were covering that would have loads of art would be Hard Boiled.
Yeah, but no, not the case.
That's a shame.
from what I could see. But then obviously the only other aspect, we kind of touched on it, because there aren't action figures or anything.
Shocking.
Yeah,
A Mad Dog figure.
They should just do the cover art action figure. Fuck it, why not?
Yeah.
Just him in the like mix of things. Like he comes with a shotgun and he's got the little head patch and the baby.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah.
That'd be cool. But yeah, Stranglehold, anyway, released in 2007. Served as a sequel to the movie. Had
John Woo's involvement and everything. Giant fat voice work. It was just insane when I found out there was going to be... It was like, I think at first I heard like, oh, there's going to be a game where like you can be Chow Yun-fat. I was like, what? And then, oh yeah, John Woo's directing it, and like, it's a sequel to Hard Boiled.
Yeah.
It's just the last thing you expect in 2007, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a dream come true, really, wasn't it?
And it was a good game.
Yeah, it really was.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it really was. It captured some of the like gunplay really well. It was one of them games where if you played through it on hard, it was like really, really fun as well. You had to really like be careful and think about your steps and stuff.
Yeah.
It was a cracking game. It's a shame that, I don't know, you always get these fan projects of like remaking games. Somebody should remake that game, because it was built in Unreal 3.
Yeah.
That game. So somebody should remake that in Unreal 5. Definitely.
Did you know about the sequel that was like partly in development?
Yeah. Before the Midway went on.
And it was going to have Vin Diesel in as like his partner.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It's just like I proposed, really, isn't it? Like the Tequila comes over to America or something.
Yeah, I think they were going to do that, and I think that its name was. I don't know whether it was going to be called Stranglehold Gunrunners or just Gunrunners as a way to like kind of relaunch it and have more of a wider appeal.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's footage of it on YouTube. I found it the other night.
Oh, is there? I don't think I've ever looked.
Like early development footage of like actually when you look at it then compared to now, there's some crazy like destruction physics in it. There was in the first game, but in that one there's just shots of just Tequila shooting a shotgun at a building. Just the way it crumbles, I'm like, shit, that for like 2008 or whatever, that looks amazing.
Crazy, yeah. And just showed the Unreal Engine and stuff.
Well, yeah,
some of the mad stuff you can do in there.
Yeah, there's some crazy shit going on at the moment with the new engines.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a shame really that, I don't know, we haven't had more of that of late. You know, like gun action-y type games.
No, not really. Yeah. Not since like, well, I guess there's probably a couple, but I mean, the last one I played was Max Payne 3, which was like weirdly disappointing.
Yeah. I think just like the third person sort of genre isn't that hot at the moment. It's all first person shooter games and stuff.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. It was weird though. We're kind of lucky for a little spate there with getting like a Chow Yun-fat game, where the Jet Li game, Rise to Honor, which was good as well. That was a lot of fun. Yeah,
there's a few sort of games like that came along.
Jackie Chan Stuntmaster, which wasn't great, but it was kind of fun at the time. Like, yeah, it's a little Jackie Chan game.
Yeah. So yeah, we're the Hong Kong action video games. They need to bring them back. Like a Grand Theft Auto game, but you just play as Tequila.
Yeah.
Just going about solving crimes and shit.
I remember once in I don't know whether it was I think it was in like a video game magazine, where in like the letter section, someone had said, "I've got a great idea for a new beat 'em up. It's all the fighters are like Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, Jet Li, and all the all the bad guys from all the movies are in it." And so they put like a little kind of cute thing, like and there's like a little add-on you can add where you can see the wires, the wire work. And the fucking response was, "That's the shittiest idea for a video game I've ever heard." And I was like, "Oh, you bastards!"
Oh God!
I'm like, that's an amazing idea, mate. Fuck you, editor. So yeah, that wraps up John Woo month. It's been a lot of fun. It's been fun to get back to some nerding out about Hong Kong movies and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's been a good laugh.
It has. Hopefully you've all enjoyed it. And next week, it's nearly December, insanely. Can't believe it's nearly fucking Christmas already.
Christmas. Yeah, we'll have to do Christmas movies.
Yeah, so we'll do some festive related movies next month, and capping it off probably on Christmas Eve with the third entry in the long overdue third entry of Cannibal Christmas.
Oh yes.
And that might be the last one. I don't know.
Yeah, trilogy.
We're at the dregs already now with 3, so a fourth one might be too painful.
Yeah,
but yeah, they're always a lot of fun. I always enjoyed. Like, we've only done 2. We'll do them like every 3-4 years, but they're always a lot of fun.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Nice inappropriate Christmas special. You can't beat it. So yeah, until next time, folks, you can email us at thechrisandchrisShow@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram at The Chris and Chris Show. Go review the fuck out the show any way you can, please. And I'll see you down the pit.
Yeah, see you in the heap.
Bye-bye.
Chris and Chris Show.